On Tuesday, we introduced you to Amy and Brad Witt, a couple living in a sexless marriage. They spoke to Juju candidly about their problems, Amy's feelings of rejection, Brad's explosive anger, and their nearly non-existent sex life. You responded to their story, sending hundreds of messages to our website and Facebook page, many detailing your own sexless marriages. We matched Amy and Brad with family therapist Terry Real today, and we go inside the therapist's office with this couple on the edge. Juju has more of the story.
I don't feel desire.
Do you want to have sex more often?
When I'm stressed out, the feeling's not
Was there something that I did or didn't do? Did he not want me?
When we first met Amy and Brad Witt, their marriage appeared strained to the breaking point from lack of sex.
This is our last chance to reach out for help. We really don't have much to hold on to.
So we brought them together with GMA relationship expert Terry Real, hoping he could jumpstart their lackluster love life.
Come on in. So Brad, you've talked about having a low sex drive forever. How do you feel about that?
I always just thought it was okay. I didn't really have a reason to be concerned about it.
But if that's the case, that's not the marriage that I want. To me, it's that important that I was open and honest from the beginning that I do like intimacy.
It becomes clear Amy and Brad's future is on the line. She's already taken off her wedding ring.
You really feel now that, my gosh, I'm going to lose her.
I pretty much got slapped in the face with reality.
Good. It's about time.
But sex only points to deeper issues. Brad's anger at home with Amy's 3 children is a major factor in their problems.
Tell me about Brad's anger.
Explosive, breaking things, locking me out, taking the keys away or not letting me leave. My tendency is to run.
Your wife flat out calls you a tyrant.
Right.
You've been behaving in this family like a tyrant. What's it like to hear me say that?
It's the truth.
You're going to have to do something about this anger. Are you willing to do that?
I'm more than willing to.
Why?
Because this is the woman that I love and I'm madly in love with.
Now look, this isn't all about him. So it sounds like that you're communicating, particularly around sex, has been angry. Angrily complaining to your husband about not having sex is not very seductive.
No, and I know that. Who would want to have sex with somebody that's yelling at him?
Terry prescribes couples therapy for Brad and Amy and anger management for Brad. He also tells them to tame anger by using timeouts.
I believe that if you stay there and you open your mouth, all sorts of demons can come out of it.
Right.
And you may not be able to control that. But the one thing I think you can control is whether you stay there.
Next, Terry turns to the bedroom.
When you actually start to have sex, you get into it, it's a good experience for you?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried like date nights?
I can honestly say to have to schedule it, in my own opinion, isn't the right way.
Terry insists that Brad and Amy schedule romantic time once a week.
You're going to be with each other, you're going to be in the bedroom, and you're going to be sensual with each other. No ifs, ands, or buts. Would you be willing to do that?
Sure. It's something new. I got to try something new to save this.
Brad and Amy are now armed with new marital marching orders and some final words of advice.
I think that your make it or break it in this marriage is whether you can follow through or not. If you can follow through and be responsible, say this is what I'm going to do and do it, then in my opinion you're a man, you're a grown-up, and you're good husband material.
Okay.
Does this make sense to you?
Yes. Makes full sense now that it's been worded that way.
By the end of the session, new hope and new commitment.
Amy Lynn, I love you enough that I am going to follow through with all this for as long as it takes.
I love you. And you are all the man that I want and need. And I desperately hope that we can save this.
Love you.
Terry Real joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
That session with Amy and Brad happened about 2 weeks ago. How are they doing?
You know, I'm happy to report they're doing really quite well. They're following through with the treatment. They've already met with his individual therapist for anger, a couples therapist. He's going to follow through with the anger management, and I know the question on your mind. Yes, they have had some evenings together. She wrote me an email with a big smiley face on it. So.
Oh, good. I'm so happy for them. But it's funny, Brad said, I don't want to have to schedule a romantic night, a date night. But a lot of couples actually are reluctant to do this. It's important, however.
It is hugely important. I would say of the sexless marriages that I've dealt with, 1 out of 2, the issue really isn't sex. Once they get into the bedroom and they start being sensual with each other, things work out fine. I call it a getting into the bedroom issue, not a sex issue. And so you have to do the unromantic business of scheduling your time together. If you both wait for the kids to be asleep, for the 2 of you not to be tired, and for both of you to feel amorous, you could have a long wait on your hands.
It still just feels weird, like penciling in on Thursday night sex with my husband.
Well, you don't have to say sex. Just in the bedroom, some sensual time with each other, and see what happens.
I was struck yesterday by how many people suffer from this. 15 to 20% of marriages.
An estimated 40 million Americans.
40 million Americans
Yeah.
have a sexless marriage defined as sex less than 10 times a year.
Yes.
Why so many?
Well, a lot of it's anger. I think that people don't like making love with people they're angry at. I say the best long-term aphrodisiac in a marriage is telling the truth to each other and dealing with your issues. Resentment builds up. And in our tough modern lives, it's hard to just make the time.
We're talking yet again about anger. I feel like that's our theme for this morning's show. Let's get to the email from Donna, because I found it particularly poignant. She wrote, I don't feel like my husband appreciates me or respects me. There is no communication or sharing of feelings and ideas anymore. So I don't feel like being intimate in a sexual way either. How do we get past this? What's your advice?
Well, one of the things I say, Elizabeth, is that most people do in the bedroom what they do in every other room. So if you're not sharing ideas, if you don't feel respected, if you're not sharing your emotions, why would you even expect that you're going to be sexual with each other? You're not close in any other way. So work on your issues, work on your relationship issues, and also make some time for some sensual time with each other.
All right, Don, I hope that helps. Terry Real, thanks so much. Some important advice for couples everywhere. We really appreciate it. And as we said, hundreds of you sent in questions for Terry Real. Go to abcnews.com/GMA to get his answers and expert relationship advice.